Well, hello! It's the Mediocre Arknights Operator Guide featuring Flametail, a not-so-mediocre operator. She's a Knight of Kazimierz, the Pinus Sylvestris nightclub leader, as well as possessing a pretty fluffable tail. Though it's not province-level tail fluff, but it's floof enough to want to touch it. Flametail is a pioneer vanguard. There aren't really any special traits on these guys besides being able to block 2, stats are okay, but these operators are usually frontline vanguards, fending off early mobs while generating the usual DP. Hold the line, generate resources, and carry some extra use beyond that. In Flametail's case, she does have that extra use with her second talent, Pinus Sylvestris Leader, which gives every Kazimierz operator up to a 25% chance to evade physical attacks. Remember that she is a Kazimierz operator herself, so she will also get the dodge buff. The talent might not seem like much, or something you really want to rely on for that matter, but it ups her survivability and does become more relevant when we get to the skills. For now, we're talking about Flametail's first talent, Vanguard Swordsmanship. She does a double attack and hits all enemies she's currently blocking after evasion. This talent can also be buffed with her first module, giving a minor increase in damage on the dodge counter attack. The module also reduces the first deployment cost by 4, nice for getting her out there early. There's another module, but it's not out on global at the time of making this video. So you might have already figured out what Flametail sort of is. A red squirrel or something. I think. Flametail's main niche is dodging like that guy in the Matrix, and all her skills reflect that sort of idea. Sona's first skill, Quick Intuition, gives you 6 DP and is guaranteed to avoid the next incoming physical attack. 100% physical dodge chance is the only comment I can give for this skill. A single dodge after 18 SP is not the greatest on the payoff even with the talent counterattack. But at least this skill triggers automatically, so the skill's here if you're feeling lazy. And in case you were wondering, no, this dodge doesn't stack, it refreshes your 1 dodge every activation. Skill 2 is Pinus Sylvestris, dropping a 2-tile radius attack generating DP, dealing physical damage twice, and stunning enemies in range for half a second when they're hit. Flametail also leaves a 2-tile radius field, granting operators inside up to a 50% physical dodge chance lasting for 10 seconds. Reminds you a bit of Texas skill 2, doesn't it? A 50% dodge is much better than the 25 from the first talent, but the cool thing is that the buffs stack together for 62-ish% dodge chance? You'd think it would be 75, but no, it's actually 62. Still a much higher dodge chance. Regular friendly operators get 50% from skill 2 while Kazimierz Friends gets the total 62. Flameheart is Flametail's third skill and it generates 8 DP over the 8-second skill duration. During this time, attack increases by up to 90%, block is raised by 1, attack speed goes up, and both physical and arts dodge increase by up to a whopping 80%. Essentially, Flametail becomes this pseudo area of effect guard, but a vanguard. A very high dodge chance means her first talent will trigger often, and cleaves up to 3 different enemies with a higher block count. This skill when maxed costs only 16 SP, which is incredibly cheap for a skill like this, so you can activate this skill relatively often. The one downside of this skill is that it does not last long, so Flametail may be left stranded without a skill buff against future or current enemies. Basic tips with Flametail. Sona is one of those operators you can leave deployed for most of the map, whether she's providing dodge with skill 2 or being a dodge tank herself with skill 3. She's a decent enough frontliner. Obviously she's not a defender or anything, but use this information how you will. Though Flametail's second skill doesn't stun for that long, it does however interrupt enemies in the middle of attacking. So if you time the skill well enough, you can save yourself a bit of damage, especially from the harder hitting ones. Doing this also gives that extra time you might need to damage the enemy down or heal for the next incoming hit. Though cheesy and sometimes inconsistent, a neat application with skill 3 is against bosses, or just hard-hitting elite enemies. A high dodge chance means you can stall them in front of Flametail no matter how much damage they do, at least as long as you don't get too unlucky or have to deal with true damage. So, should you build Flametail? If you value a dodgy vanguard, yep, it's a fun time. If you value damage, it's respectable enough. If you value consistent damage, maybe. A good chunk of damage is reliant on Flametail's first talent activating. Though you have skills to help with that, they won't be always available to use. If you are a fellow Kazimierz enjoyer, my Kazimierz squad will thank you. Finally, here are Sona's stats, potentials, trust bonus, base skills, and my E264M3 Flametail. I don't have her skin, but I just want to point out, look at that cute Ashlock, Wildmane, and the Burby Fartooth in the background. And that's the Flametail Operator Guide. Thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your day.